Hello and welcome to Karma's a Stitch. How is everybody doing? Did you have a good summer? I have missed being here. I have had so many people reach out, so thank you guys so much. If you've never been here before, I have taken a little bit of a break and this is my first episode back. And I'm super excited because I didn't want to come back until I knew I was absolutely ready, and today's the day. I have a stack of stuff over here to share with you guys, all of them FOs. I haven't even counted them yet, so I don't know how many there are here, but there's a stack of FOs. There's been some craziness that has occurred. Please sit down, brace yourself. I have become a bit of a monogamous knitter. This summer, I was in a headspace where I was just grabbing something off of my whip wall that I felt like I could finish. And I just worked on it until it was done. So I have a stack of FOs here and I'm very excited to show them and share them with you guys. So little housekeeping stuff. If you are new here, all the ways you can get in touch with me are listed in the description box below. And for those of you that have looked in that description box below and used that email and used that Instagram to reach out to me and check on me these past few months, you guys, I truly cannot even express to you what that has done for me. However, I did try to express to some of you that thank you. So I did have lots of people wanting to know what was going on, wanting to know that everybody was okay, and everybody is just fine. No massive health issues, more of a self-awareness issue that I have created another video for, and it'll be linked in the description box below if you're interested. It does go into a bit of personal stuff, and some of it is, you know, I tried hard to keep the emotional stuff, like there's some pretty strong emotions in there. And I did try hard to keep that out of there. But if you're interested in kind of getting an inside view of what's been going on in my life these past few months, there is a video linked in the description box below so that you can just kind of see what I've been struggling through a little bit. But that's not why this video has been put up. This video is to share all of my knitting goodness. And I'm just gonna get started. So let's talk about some upcoming stuff. The Stephen West MCAL, and that'll be October. November is when I do my whip roundup. Now this will be my third year of doing my whip roundup, and that will be each day I'll pull or have one of the kids pull one of my projects off my whip wall, and we'll look at it, we'll evaluate it, decide if we're gonna keep it or frog it. I'll work on it for that 24 hours. We'll put that one away, back on the shelf, and then pick another project off the whip wall. And we'll do that each day until there are no more whips on the whip wall. And that way, going into 2026, I said it, 2026, I know that every project on my whip wall is something that I want to work on. So that is what I will be doing for November. And then December is Advent season. Now, this year's Advent season, I have an Advent. I have an Advent for sale. It is over on my Ko-fi account. I do have fingering and DK available. I have more fingering still available than I have DK if you're interested. Now, theme-wise, color theme will be, I mean, they're almost all dyed. I have 2 colors left to dye. I don't want to tell you. It flows, but the most exciting part about this year's Advent obviously is the yarn. But it's like a scavenger hunt, and each day you're gonna open up your package, you'll have a 20-gram mini, and you'll have a QR code attached to that as a tag. And if you scan that QR code, it's got some sort of holiday-related activity for you to participate in. And maybe it is enjoy a cup of hot cocoa. And whether that means you open up a package of hot cocoa at home and sit at your counter and enjoy that, or if that means you go out to your nearest coffee shop, or you go sit at Starbucks and get a hot cocoa, I want a picture. And we're gonna tag that picture for this year's Advent on Instagram. And at the end of December, each day we'll have an activity through the Advent season. And at the end of December, I'll do a drawing. And from those pictures that were posted, and we will have a drawing for next year's Advent. So if you win that drawing, you'll end up winning next year's Advent for free. So I'm very excited about this, you guys. I've been working really hard this summer. I've been dyeing a lot of yarn. I am very excited about this Advent. I did one last year for a few close people, and it was so fun. This year, I'm putting it out there for you guys if you're interested. I'm just about finished with them, so they'll be ready to ship out. I believe the date's either November 3rd or November 5th. So not shipping out of the country right now, just because I want to make sure that it gets there in time. That's a big concern for me. If you are out of the country and you're interested in one, just reach out to me and we'll look at it together. And I just want to make sure that it's going to get to you in time. That's my biggest concern. So the very first, and these are going in no particular order. I'm just going to grab off of this pile that I have stacked next to me. And if I was a really amazing podcaster, I would take a picture of this pile, but my phone is already mounted to record. So I'm going to grab this first one and we'll talk about it. Okay, so this first FO is called the Besties hoodie, and it's by Tin Can Knits. Now, when I started this project, I decided I wanted to use my Besties yarn because she has started dyeing yarn. So my friend Erica, who you guys have heard me talk about, has started dyeing yarn for her yarn shop because she also owns a yarn shop. How cool is that? So she had her debut trunk show, and I wanted to make this Besties hoodie, which was a make-along, a knit-along that they had going on in the shop. And so I picked out, it does call for DK weight yarn. So I did grab some of her DK weight yarn. How beautiful is that? Ugh. And somewhere in here is a bag full of all the ball bands for this. This one right here is the Three Loves. It's 90% fine merino, 10% recycled nylon, and it's called Calm Down. I love this color so much. Yeah, isn't that beautiful? I love it. However, this pattern calls for DK weight yarn, but I wanted to do something a little bit different. So I grabbed what my friend Erica is calling her Snuggle Base. And it is 100% fine merino. But you guys, look at this. And I wanted to make my hoodie out of this. Now, I will put a picture here of the Tin Can Knits photo from Ravelry, and you can take a look. It's an amazing pattern, and I'm going to tell you why I think so. I was unaware when I started this project that Tin Can Knits has an app for their patterns. And if you have their pattern in your Ravelry library and you open it up with their app, you go in, for this particular one, you go in and you pick the size. You did a gauge swatch. I did a gauge swatch. And you look at what your gauge is, and it gives you a list of gauge swatch stitch counts and stuff. And you pick the one that your swatch lined up with, and then the size that you want, and then you hit next, and it just opens up that size of the pattern. Now, that in itself is pretty cool. However, when it says cast on, obviously I'm going to use crazy numbers because it's a paid for pattern, but cast on 10 stitches. And once you cast on your 10 stitches and you hit next, the pattern goes to the next line. And then you do what that one says and you hit next and it goes to the next line in the pattern. But then you get down to where it says repeat rows 3 and 4 17 times. And when you hit next, it goes back to 3. And then you hit next and it goes to 4. Next, it goes back to 3. And it keeps track of how many of those repeats you do. Like, as long as you hit next at the end of each row, there's no way to lose track of where you're at in that pattern. I was so excited about making this hoodie with that pattern, with that app. Like, that app and the ease of using it, I'm looking forward to making my next 10 can knits project because it was so great. But here is my Besties hoodie. I did the hood in green and I used that purple, this purple here that I showed you. I used that for the cuffs and the waistband and the trimming around the hood. Okay. Like, this was such a fun project. I will tell you one thing I ended up doing differently is it said to do a certain number of repeats for the sleeve and, you know, for the length of the sleeve. And I didn't, I think I did like 3 less repeats than it called for because the sleeve length was sufficient for me. I will put a picture in here of me wearing the hoodie so that you guys can see how it's looking. I love it. Anthony tried it on. He wants one, not in these colors. And so does Alex. Alex tried it on. And she wants one as well. So, yeah, absolutely amazing project. I had so much fun with this. I will be weighing this and putting all of this into my spreadsheet. I know for the gray, I used 2 full skeins, and then I had this much left of the 3rd skein. And this is, let's see. So I used 288 grams of this main gray color. Everything else, like for the sleeves, I had plenty left. For the front pocket, I had plenty left. And then for the hood, I had plenty left. And you saw what I had left for this. And that was for the waist, the cuffs, and the trim around the hat. So I have plenty of wool left if I wanted to piece together different colors for Alex or Anthony. But what a fun project. I had such a great time with this one. So there's the Bestie hoodie finished. Yeah, I think if I were to, like, when I go into this Ravelry thing, I used a size 9 needle for the body and a size 7 for the ribbing. And I just loved the material I got with that snuggle base from Erica. So those are the needle sizes I used. Let's see what our next FO is. So this one is in this project bag. Isn't that so cute? Now, as I got stuff done this summer, I just stacked them up. And this one, Alex wanted to be able to wear. And I said, not till I show it, not till I show it, because she has become infatuated with my everyday socks. So I finished a pair of socks. Alex will be so excited. She has another pair of mine that she can steal because that's what she likes to wear. And I have talked about this pattern before, but it is the everyday sock pattern. I absolutely love this extra layered cuff on the back of the sock. Okay, it's kind of like a sport size. It kind of goes up, and then you've got this spot here where you do short rows and then fold it over. And I love this pattern. I love that they're shorties, and it's hard to see. Let's see. It's hard to see with this variegated yarn, but the part of the sock here has this different type of ribbing that kind of creates some negative ease around the sole of your foot. They're just so comfortable. I love wearing these on my walks with Cinder when I have a clean pair because Alex has worn them. So there are a pair of socks. Okay, let's see what is our next FO gonna be? I love this project bag. I love this project bag so much. Okay, in here, it's called the Wheat Scarf, and it also is by Tin Can Knits. And it is, I'm going to take it out so you don't have to see it through the plastic sleeve because that always gives a super fun reflection. But here's the Wheat Scarf. Now, this project, I had gotten the material to do 2 of them because I couldn't decide between these 2 different color scheme, these color palettes. I couldn't decide. And so I ended up getting both of them. I have some of the mohair left because I did decide, let's see where the labels are here. These are by Apple Fiber Studio. And I got the lace weight here. And this is 72% kid mohair, 28% silk. And it's a 50-gram skein. And that color, oh, it's just beautiful. Now, the other color that I got with this scarf is called Velvet. It was 100% superwash merino. It was a fingering weight. No, was it? Sport weight is what they're calling it. But I held it with the mohair. And look at this scarf. It's so beautiful. So beautiful. Now I have it folded in half. This pattern was so fun. It was a no-brainer. You didn't have to think. And I just went until I ran out of that sport weight yarn. It was a 100-gram skein. And then I had this 50-gram ball of mohair. Let's see how much of that I used. I have 22 grams left. So this was an amazing project. I loved it. But what I decided is because I like to double up my scarves, but I can't do that with this one. It's not quite long enough. So what I have thought about doing is seeing about getting some more and adding on to it, or putting a totally and complete, like the other one, I don't think I finished it. So I probably won't bind it off. I'll probably just find a color, a contrast, a pretty significant contrast color so that it's like half and half. But we'll talk about that one when we get to it. So yeah, I've got the wheat scarf, you guys. So pretty. So pretty. I loved this. It was such a fun project. And again, that was called the Wheat Scarf by Tin Can Knits. Love it. Okay, let's see what our next one is. This is just a little canvas bag. I'm part of a book club. It's a great club. My book club only reads yarn labels. Now this was, let's pull all this stuff out here. Let's see. I used a size 6. I used straight needles for this project. And this is yarn that I dyed. It was a single ply. This is all I have left from it. It was 100 grams, 415 yards per single ply. And the pattern that I did, now Erica printed off the pattern for me, but she just printed off the instruction part. She said, here, just make this. I really want to see this one knit up. Make this project. And she just handed me a sheet of paper with instructions on it. There's no name. There's no pattern name. There's no designer name. It's literally just the pattern. So I don't know what to tell you this is, but it's just a little wrap. Fun little shape. It has a very gradual increase and a much quicker decrease. But this was a single ply that I dyed. I love the black with the neons. It's absolutely beautiful. It didn't take long to do. But I don't know what to tell you as far as the pattern. And I've talked to Eric about it. She doesn't remember either, but it's here. And I used up just about all of that skein. So I'll weigh that to see how much I have left so that I can get it into my spreadsheet. And if you're curious about what spreadsheet I keep talking about, I have a spreadsheet of all of my whips. And when I finish a whip, I weigh all the yarn that I have left. I weigh the project and I look at the yardage. And at the end of the year, I have a number of how many miles I have knit that year. And it's kind of cool to see that. I don't know why I get excited about that, but I do. So I do have this little nugget that I will weigh to make sure that I have it in my spreadsheet. Okay, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 FOs. We had the Besties hoodie, the wheat scarf, the one with no name, and the everyday sock. So let's see what else we have here. And this is in a Knitted Niceties bag. Oh, you guys. This is going to be a fun one. Okay. Trying to get all the stuff out of the bag. I had my little pink Jeep stitch stoppers, which I love. So this project was done. I've got 3 different size needles here. Let me just go here to my projects on Ravelry, because this, oh, you guys, I'm so glad this is finally done. So this is my Radvent cardigan by Amba O'Brien. Let's see here, let's open up her pattern page. And with this, I used one of my Advents. I used the one from Little Lycac. I used little Lycac yarn for this Radvent cardigan. I'm so excited to be able to wear this. Now, this is a project I would do again. I would absolutely do this again. Now, this is how much of the main color I have left. So I will be weighing that. But look at this cardigan. Now, if you have not made one of these, it starts at one of the cuff. You start here. This is your cast on. And you work your way across the sleeve, okay? And you work your way across the sleeve, and then you pick up stitches for the body, okay? And you go across the back, and then you do some decreases. See, there's the body. Then you do some decreases for your sleeve, and then here's your bind off edge. But look at this amazing cardigan. Look at these colors. Oh, I just love it. I love it so much. I will put a video in here of me wearing it, and I'll turn around so you can see all angles, because this is one where I feel like you really should see all sides. So I have my Radvent cardigan done, you guys, and it was quick. It was fun. It was enjoyable, and I think it's because it started off so slow, and then right as it starts to get big and unmanageable, you're just going up and down the back because you're open in the front for the cardigan. So yes, I would absolutely make another one of these Radvent cardigans for sure. Oh, it's just so pretty. Look at that. Those are the sleeves. Oh yeah. I'm excited to enjoy this one. So there's five FOs. Okay, next, this bag. Now my mom made this bag for me. I don't remember what this is. Oh, it's because it was a last minute decision to cast on. Okay, so this is called the Lacy Loop Tee, and it is by Other Loops. Now, here is the picture page of the pattern. I love the drop shoulder sleeves. I love that it comes off your shoulder. It's not right in your armpit. Like, isn't that, you see the bottom? You have all that thick, extra tall length of ribbing. Oh, yeah. This one was a quick one. I wonder if I have the needle size. It was done on a US 6 and 7. Both were needed. I did the size XL of the pattern. And as far as material goes, let's see if I have ball bands in here, or if I have to go searching for those. I think I'm gonna have to go searching for those. So I used this purple. I wish I had the ball band, but I don't. And I have so much of this left, so much. And here's the dark color. It is a linen material. This is not wool. It is a linen. I have quite a bit left, you guys. But look at this. Clearly it needs to be blocked. And some of you may say I need to work on my ends. I will do it. I will do it. So this is the bottom of the top. Look at this. Oh, it's just so pretty. I loved these colors together. And as you saw, the pattern page was a solid, and I decided I was gonna do some stripes in there. I think it turned out so good. I will put some pictures or a video of me wearing this one as well so you can see how the fit is. Just remember, it's not blocked. It's not been blocked yet. It's so pretty. I am excited to block it because I was told that this will soften up a bit once it's been blocked. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. That's 7 FOs. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's six FOs. Is that enough? Was 6 FOs enough? I hope not, because I have more. Okay, let's take a look at this one. In this bag, Karen, my friend Karen, this is where you need to look away, because I made this for Karen's birthday. And Karen, right here, I'll put what timestamp you need to skip to so that you don't see your birthday present. But you guys need to know that I finished this before her birthday in July. And I told her I had her birthday present. She knew that I had it because I had Erica block it, but she doesn't know what it is. And it has been blocked, but I haven't given it to her because I wanted to share it with you guys. Is that so selfish of me? So selfish. So selfish. Okay. Now, what I have here, I hope she's gone. Karen, please be gone by now. Okay. This right here is what I have left of the material. And if you guys have been around, you'll remember that my friend Karen gave me this yarn because it was called, let's see here, I'm trying to get it so you can see. The colorway name is Karma. Isn't that fun? So she got me 2 skeins of it. It's on their Foxy Lady base. It's 70% superwash merino, 30% silk, 428 yards. And it's by Farmer's Daughters Fiber. And it's their indigenous collective. And the colorway is called Karma. So with this yarn, I was like, what am I gonna do with this? Well, then it was my friend's birthday. And with it being her birthday, I went ahead. I'm getting all the little things out of my project bag. With it being her birthday, I made her the Vortex shawl. How beautiful. Now this has been blocked, but it has been put, for it being back in the project bag for months. Like it's the 1st of October today. And it's been in this project bag for months, and it doesn't look horrible for being back in there after being blocked. But this was the Vortex shawl. Let me look at who that is by real quick. The Vortex shawl is by Christina McCurley. And I'll have all of this information on all of these projects in the description box below. So yeah, Christina McCurley. But yeah, you guys, look at that. Now, I used all but this little bit. And honestly, I would make this again, but I would probably do it, if I was going to do something in fingering weight. This was a pretty light lacy single ply. I would probably do it with 3 skeins. I mean, that's just me. I'd want it a bit bigger. But if I used a thicker weight yarn, this pattern was so much fun to make. I could probably do this in a DK weight, maybe in my own colorway, and just see how far 2 or 3 get me. Because I think, obviously, obviously it's gonna build quicker, but that might be cool to see. So there's that birthday gift for my dear friend Karen, who I just adore. But yeah, we're gonna let Karen come back now. So let's talk about this next whip that I have here. I literally just bound this off today. Just today. So you may have just heard me say today is October 1st. No, it's not. Today is October 2nd. The Stephen West MCAL, the first clue, was released today. And I said, I am not casting that MCAL on until I have bound this off, because this is also a Stephen West project. And this is the second Slipstravaganza shawl that I have done. And I started this with a friend from the yarn shop who wanted to just kind of do this side by side. She put hers aside for a while. And I was like, I could get this done. I'm going to do it. So I got my Slipstravaganza shawl finished, you guys. Isn't that so beautiful? So if you look, you can't see it, but this material, I used something different. So my mom is allergic to wool. And so I found something that I was like, yeah, mom would wear this, you know? So it's the Kabasi by Haiku. It's cotton, bamboo, and silk. These were 50-gram balls, and it's 55% cotton, 16% bamboo, 21% elastic nylon, and 5% silk. That's what the ball band looks like. Okay. And so it's cotton, bamboo, and silk, and some elastic nylon. My mom can wear this, so this is going to go to my mom. Isn't that so great? You guys, Stephen West, I finished a Stephen West on the day that his MCAL clue came out with. So I am doing that MCAL, and that's an exciting thing that we will be talking about here at the end. I have some exciting, you know. Yeah. I'm excited. For the Stephen West make along this year, I am doing it. And I went into the yarn shop, and I have like 10 or 12 people super excited, local folks, that are doing it as well. So I rented out a spot, and we're all going to get together Saturday afternoon, evenings, and we're going to work on that week's clue. So we'll have some food, we'll be able to hang out with a little bit of music and laughter, and just all of us get together Saturday evenings. So we are, obviously, we're casting on before Saturday, but if you're local and you're doing the MCAL and you want to come knit with us on Saturday, let me know, because we are doing that Saturday evenings. I did rent out a location so that we could do that, and I'm so excited. It's a great group of people, so that'll be super fun. But it has to be the MCAL of this year. That's what we're doing. I'm holding firm. We'll open it up in November to other things, but this month it's about this year's MCAL. So there's that FO. I've lost count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. Okay, for real, this is the last one I've got. This is the last project that I have that is finished. Yep, last one. Now, this is the Night Lights shawl by Andrea Mowry, Dre Renee Knit. And here's a picture. Don't mind the printer streak through the center of the photograph, but here's a picture. Now, you guys, I don't wear shawls shaped like that. I'll wear a nice long rectangular wrap. Like if I could just cut this off right here without the point, I would totally wear that. But this shape I wasn't gonna wear. And when you look at the pattern, let's see if there's another picture up close. If you look at the stitch pattern repeat, this is such a beautiful stitch pattern. It was just gorgeous. It reminded me of the Morrison scarf a lot. Let's see if you can. Yeah, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Like, it really did remind me of the Morrison scarf. If you're not familiar with that, that's one that I've done a couple times. And so I really wanted to do this, and this lovely lady, Wendy at the yarn shop, had done it in this particular, look at all this fun stuff I'm finding in my project bag. Holy smokes, you guys. She had done this, she had done one in some juniper moon wool, and it was so soft and so squishy. Oh, here's the ball bands. I was like, I have to have something like that, but I just won't wear the triangle shape. It would end up in my tote out in my garage, and I just wouldn't wear it. So I got some of the Juniper Moon Cumulus Rainbow, as well as, let's see, the Juniper Moon Cumulus that's a solid. Okay, so this is the ball band. Now, these are 94% cotton and 6% nylon. And I have 2 of the, I did 2 of the main color and 2 of the rainbow one. This is all that I have left. Planned that good, huh? This is all I have left. And I took that pattern and that stitch definition, and I just made a really long wrap. So I had 2 of these rainbow ones, and what I ended up doing is starting with the light purple and working through and getting up through all of the greens and the yellows, and then it's gonna fade into the blue. Oh, right? And then whenever it was time to switch, I started the second rainbow with this light blue, and then we went the other way with it. So yeah, you guys, this was such a fun project. And it's a shape that I will absolutely wear. But look at how beautiful. And with the fiber content in this, with the cotton, 94% cotton. It is so soft. I almost hope my mom's not watching this because she'll ask for this. I did a shawl for her in this material, and it's just amazing. So yeah, love this. Love this for winter. I'm glad it's finished right now because it'll be ready for me this winter. Oof. Yeah. So that is my final FO. I have things that are coming up. I am doing the Stephen West MCAL. Let me show you those colors now. I'll go grab them 1 second. Okay, so I am keeping my Stephen West in this project bag. It says be kind or be quiet. Love it, love it. Words to live by. And what I plan on doing with my Stephen West MCAL, if you're not familiar, he is, we need 4 colors, right? And he put out the first color directions, and the first color directions were 4 solids or semi-solid tonals, right? And then he came out with another one that included a variegated, like, but you wouldn't, and he kind of showed us some samples, like you wouldn't want too much variegated, like 2 or 3 variegated that blend together. And so I kind of did that, and then I went and looked at my stash, what I had. Now, I found these 4 skeins that I bought from one dyer, and it is Jada Woo. She is just an absolute, just a very pleasant person to be around. She's done a few trunk shows. I've seen her at some other events. She's just, from what I've seen, I haven't had like a whole lot of exposure to her, but every encounter has just been very pleasant. So this is, she's in Tacoma, Washington, and the Great P&W is this colorway. So I am going to use a variegated one, but this is a set of 4 that I had already purchased. It's 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. And then this one is called Redwood. Okay. And then this one is called Blue Spruce. And this one doesn't have a ball band, and that is because during her trunk show, I just wanted a 4th one that matched this. And this one she had in her bag, it just didn't have a ball band on it. So I know that it's Jada Woo because I brought all of them together. But here, let's see if I can do this without everything rolling around. Oh, almost lost it. So there, this is going to be my Stephen West MCAL colors. Isn't that great? Oh, I did manage to drop them. Anyway, I will be casting that on tonight. I will be putting out a separate video just for the Stephen West MCAL to kind of show progress on that. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I'm not too sure. But as far as projects go, that's what I'm working on right now. This first clue, I feel as though won't take me the whole week. And I say that because I was sitting with a friend today who had started theirs, and they were halfway through it. They were halfway through it, and the day wasn't even over. They were halfway done with the first clue. So I think it's going to be very doable to have this first clue done before next week's clue. And at that point in time, I will, I have other stuff sitting around that I'll work on waiting for that clue. But so yes, I am going to be doing the Stephen West MCAL this year. I am very excited about it. And these are my colors, and I will be casting on tonight. So there you go. That's what I have going on. I've talked about the Advent. I've talked about the MCAL. I've talked about our MCAL meetup on Saturday nights. I've talked about my 7 or 8 FOs. You guys, and I let you know that there is another video linked in the description box if you're interested in any of the other personal stuff that's been going on. Please do not feel obligated to watch it. It's not nearly this upbeat. But I have had such I've just had so many of you ask what was going on. And this has become a pretty close community. Next month will be our 5-year anniversary for this channel. And I am a real person with a real life. And this channel has stayed very small, which is so beautiful because it has allowed us all to get to know each other a little bit better. And so when I ask you what's going on in your life and if you're good, like I see you guys post on Instagram and I love those posts and I love seeing what's going on in your life. And so when you reach out to me and you're like, wait a minute, what's going on in your life, Tonya? Why haven't we seen you? I'd like to give you a bit of an explanation. So I do have this other video that kind of goes a little deeper into what I've been struggling with, if you're interested in watching that. Now, I think right now that's all I've got. I've been talking for over 50 minutes. I'm going to edit this. I'm going to get it up, and we're going to get back on track with videos. I'm very excited to be doing this. All right, you guys, I hope you're all doing so good. Let me know in the comments below. Are you doing the MCAL? I want to see pictures. I want to see pictures. Tag me in your pictures on Instagram. I so want to see what everybody is doing. But let me know. Let me know that you're working on an MCAL in the comments. Let me know what your colors are. And I'm so excited to be back. I hope you're all doing great. I'll see you next week. Bye.